How can you maximize the desirability, whatever desirability that is within yourself, to attract others to you like a moth to a flame? How can you attract more friends at school, be more popular? How can you be more influential at work? You need to know what other people like about you. And in today's Pick a Card, we're going to find out. Welcome back to my channel, Suburban Magic, where you'll find the most accurate and entertaining Pick a Card tarot readings and also videos on spiritual development. If that sounds good to you, why don't you join the Woo crew and subscribe below? And don't forget to ring the notification bell, ding, 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 dong, 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 so you're notified every time I post a new video. I'm Amanda, and I'm here to help you make the mundane more magical. I've been doing spooky, accurate, creepy, fun, entertaining tarot card readings since 2004, baby. On the outside, I may look like a regular, boring, basic suburban mom, but on the inside, I'm an even more basic suburban mom who just happens to study and be transfixed by the mysteries of the universe. Welcome. You can catch me here at least once a week or on my Instagram at Suburban Magic, where I post daily pick a card readings on my IGTV while we're having fun with that, and also do a lot of fun and interesting IG stories if you're into it. Now let's get magical and make some magic happen. It's time to pick a pile. Don't be scared, okay? Just take a couple of centering breaths. If you pick the wrong pile at first and we get into the video and it's just not jiving, don't worry. Go back, pick again. It's not the end, my friend, for you. We're using archetype cards from the wild unknown today instead of crystals to pick our piles. So I'm going to show you the cards. This is pile number 1. You got the archetype card, the box. This is pile number 2. You got the archetype card, the womb. Is there room in the womb? Is she calling to you? And then you have the shapeshifter for pile number 3. Is the shapeshifter calling to you? Hi, pile number 1. If you pick the archetype card, the box, this is you. And we're going to talk about the archetype card at the end and read from the guidebook that comes with this oracle card deck. Now, remember, if you pick this pile, comment down below. I read every single comment. It helps me to connect to you guys. Remember, this is a general reading, so keep what resonates and reject what doesn't. But if you're interested in a more tailored personal reading, just with me and you and me together, check the description box below for information on how to contact me about my availability and my rates. All right, guys, let's get started. So, what makes you attractive? The first row is going to, oh my God, okay. Okay, Spirit, we get it. Sometimes Spirit has a sense of humor. So, how do I put this delicately? The top row refers to more of our physical aspects, like our build, our face, our presence, our style. You guys, you thick, you built, you might be curvy. Don't kill me, don't shoot the messenger, but from your animal spirit deck, you got the whale. Okay, so we know there is some girth about you. Hey now, PG-13 here. You got some girth somewhere. You might have some back like I do and some thigh meat like I do. This is what makes you attractive though. So you need to embrace the girth. You need to embrace ya thick. Okay, guys? Okay, this is a little, even for Spirit, this is a little, the whale really, but also it's confirmed over here by the abundance card. When I tune into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. There's abundance in your physique, abundance in your presence. Okay, guys? You're there. And not only that, but you have a very interesting style. So a couple things might be going on. You may have this youthfulness about you that even though you're older or more mature, you may look very young. You may look childlike to some people, and this is very attractive to them. It's the innocence and the beauty and the purity of a child. So if you don't feel like you have a childlike appearance, that's not you. You think you look your age, and you may have a retro kind of romantic look or style to you. You might have an old-fashioned dress sense. You may love old-fashioned things. Something that's attractive about you for other people is that you have like an old-fashioned, fun, retro, hip sense of style. You like bring new life to old things, okay, guys? So you're very interesting in physical appearance, very attractive to people. Embrace these qualities about yourself. This top row isn't just about physically, how physically attractive are you. You are a very generous and giving spirit. We have this twice here because the Six of Cups is also about generosity and offering support and love and energy. And then I become abundant. And you're tuned into the abundance of the universe and able to give freely of yourself because you feel like you have so much to give. You are a giving, generous person. You are a welcoming person. You are a comfortable person. You are a comfortable person. You are approachable. And this is actually what makes you attractive. Don't be afraid of being approachable. If you're like, Amanda, I have a resting face like no other. I don't think I'm approachable. There could be some latent irresistibility features about you haven't fully embodied yet, which we're about to talk about, okay? You have the gift of being approachable if you embrace it. You have the gift of being someone's comfort, someone's home. You could even remind people of their childhood or their parents, like in a positive way. This attracts them to you. This makes you irresistible and desirable to other people, to other friends, to being popular, to being, surrounded by goodwill and people wanting to be drawn to you and to help you and to give things to you. Because you give to others. You are generous, okay? Now, if you're saying to me, I'm skinny, I'm not, and if you're a man, you may not be curvy. You may just actually be quite well shaped, male or female, or anywhere in between. You have a quite nice physical shape to you, outline to you, whatever outline you want. But if you're a male or a woman, it is covered by a certain layer of comfort. And by that, I mean a certain layer of padding. So you've got the beautiful shape and it's covered in a lovely layer of softness. Not only that, but you have a layer of softness to your personality, which makes you a welcoming person. I know I repeat myself, but this is just what's coming through. Now, here we go. You have more abundance coming in, even in your blocks and what may be causing you not to fully embody or fully realize your highest potential of desirability. So, first of all, we have to start here with the King of Cups reversed. Somebody, probably a male or someone with a masculine energy, someone who's quite emotional, maybe lacks control over their emotions, honestly, made you feel some kind of way about yourself, made you doubt yourself. This person was critical of themselves and it came across and bled into you. Probably someone from your past, your childhood. It could even mean a past relationship, but somebody you were in a relationship with who was important to you and could affect you on an emotional level. We have the Cups here, King of Cups. They made you doubt your natural beauty, your natural charisma and attractability, your desirability, rather. They made you doubt yourself, okay? This is a block. This is keeping you from fully embracing everything that's wonderful about yourselves and letting yourself shine. Not only that, but you have 9 of Wands and 9 of Pentacles, and they're in a position which we would call cross. Like these are things that are hindering you. So something about your giving nature, people may take advantage of that, and it makes you want to not give as much as you could. It also might make you block other people off a little bit because you're like, they're just coming to me because they need something, or they know I can get it for them. They know I'm resourceful. They know I have what it takes to help them and support. And sometimes you might put up an artificial boundary, not even a boundary, but like a block, a wall that keeps you from fully stepping into that provider type energy that you would be able to give. because you are resourceful and you are full of love and you are full of comfort and support to offer other people. This is why they are naturally attracted to you. Now, Knight of Wands means you've been through some shit. You're just not sure if you can go through that again, especially since someone came in, King of Cups reverse, and undermined your own confidence in your natural physical attractiveness and your personality attractiveness. You're like, oh my gosh, do I have it in me to fight another day? You have a weariness about you. This is blocking you from fully presenting yourself in all your splendor and energetic glory. Okay, guys? Now, for the last row, this talks about your advice, and this is from the Mother Mary Oracle card deck from Doreen Virtue. And first of all, I need to start with the enthusiasm card, because there is nothing more attractive than you, a person like you, pile one, that is fully engaged and passionate and has enthusiasm for life, who isn't weary, who's been able to move past their weariness and regained their confidence that was compromised by somebody or some organization. Even it could be like some way of thinking made you undermine your own and second guess your own brilliant, shining attractiveness. You know what I mean? So advice card, be enthusiastic, find that passion within you. There's nothing more attractive than your passion, your enthusiasm. And then you have these two cards coming in here to clarify with faith and miracle. You need to know that some of the damage or the trauma or just the hurt caused in your past, causing you to not fully shine in your full attractiveness and not being able to leverage and utilize your attractiveness to give you an advantage in life, is because some of this needs to be mitigated and healed by God, by your higher self, spiritual healing, by having faith. Some of this healing is to be left to your higher self and to your angels, to God. And that's something you've missed out of all this. Like maybe you've tried several different modalities. Maybe you've been trying the conventional way to be attractive. Maybe you've been trying conventional ways to, quote, heal. Spirit is telling you that you need to go a more spiritual route. You need to depend and have faith that this is going to turn around for you and you are going to be able to blossom in your full power and be able to use your attractiveness to the highest degree to elevate you, yourself, and others in your life situation. This is a job for God, for you guys. So what does that look like? That looks like working on some shadow work. That means maybe seeing like a traditional spiritual healer, an interpersonal psychologist, which is transpersonal, not interpersonal, transpersonal psychologist, psychology, philosophy, affirmations. You need to like regain the spark that was squelched by this a-hole. Okay? Okay? So I can't wait to see you guys fully step into your splendor. Let's talk about your archetype card, the box. I can't wait to see how this sucker fits in. Wow, I kind of wish I've read the box archetype before we even got started here, because some of the reason you're not able to expand and is because you've been living inside of a box in a way. Someone else boxed you in, and that's why you find yourself lacking a little bit of confidence to go back at it again, and also putting up some kind of wall, like a box wall, walls all around, that keeps you from being fully generous and like, gosh, you have so much to give and to offer other people, which is why they're going to be so drawn to you. So the box, it says, to some degree within the confines of the box, this archetype represents everything that's known, anticipated, and expected. So everything you've experienced so far. It holds us in place, though, simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. You definitely are being held back. When it's in its light, like its highest expression, it's structure, order, coherence, and logic. But when it's dark, it represents a limitation, a rigidity, a judgment, and a fear. You have felt judged, and you may be judging others and yourself so much. You may be rigidly stuck into this preconceived notion of how you are attractive or how you're not attractive and what that means to you. The box may appear as expectations from parents, and well-paying but a heartless job, and the pressure to look or behave like others or to simply stay small. What did I say before, you guys, about you may have been boxed in by a traditional view of healing or traditional view of what attractiveness is. All right, guys, this was a great reading. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, if anyone ever tries to call you out because you got your crystals from Home Goods, or from Ross, you can tell them to suck your right. Okay, we got a little off track. You guys are pile number 2. I think I called pile number 3 pile number 2. Hello, McFly, anybody there? All right, hi, pile number 2. Remember, if you pick this pile, to comment down below that you picked it, and I read every single comment. It helps me to connect to you guys better. Remember, this is a general reading. Keep what resonates, reject what doesn't, and if you're interested in a tailored personal reading just for you, check the description box below for information on how to contact me about my availability and rates so we can get a little reading going between us. Okay, pile number 2, this first row lets us know what you look like physically and what attracts other people to you physically, and also your personality and your parents, and how you present in the world. So your presence. Second row, we're going to talk about blocks that are keeping you from either fully leveraging or optimizing your natural inherent talents of attractiveness, or keeping you from even experiencing these that are latent, that are buried within. Now, then we have advice, which is going to push you and tell you what actions you can take to, like I said, step into that top level attractiveness and desirability. Now, you guys are a little bit more slow. You're grounded. You may have quite an angular build or rectangular build. There's something about you that has some edges, even if you're built, or even if you're, built or curvy. There's something about you that definitely has some edges, some protective edges. And the reason I say this is because we pulled turtle. There's a vulnerability about you deep down inside, and even a vulnerability that will present in your facial features and your body, your physique. And something about that causes you to have a little bit of an edge about you, a little bit of an abruptness about you that is actually quite charming. Kind of that factor of like, oh, that person's standoff, so let me go and get in their face. Like that, people feel that way towards you. Like they're drawn to you because they want to pull you out of your shell, your little turtle shell. People want to draw you out of your mysterious shell. They want to soften those edges. This is pulling people in towards you. This is okay. Like, make it work. Okay, make it work. Now, you also pull the card, I don't have fear. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. So that tells me that, again, this is kind of emphasizing the way that you're a little bit closed off and protective and mysterious. You're very, very sensitive. And even though you feel like you're putting up that wall, you're kind of standoffish, or, you keep things here, you're reserved, you keep things close. That's very attractive to people, and they also see through it. They also can sense the sensitivity in you and the vulnerability in you. And honestly, that's one of your most attractive traits. That's one of the most attractive things about you. Now, you also pulled the lovers with, you have Dorothy and Stan here with Sophia. Oh my God, from the Golden Girls deck. Obviously, get on my level. We've got Dorothy and Stan, and she's just the epitome to me of this person that has a strong character, but inside she is vulnerable, and she has feelings too. And what that really belies is someone with this intellect. This comes across as this intellectual with this sharpness about her. No matter what, she always, she went back with Stan a couple times. Y'all know this if you watch Golden Girls. Raise your hand, comment down below if you're a Golden Girls fan. She got back with him a couple times because she's a sucker for love. And even though you look like you don't need love, or you think you're putting out that you don't need love, people know you do. People know that you are a lover deep down, that you're attracted to your sensitive side and your vulnerability, and they are attracted to wanting to bring you out of your wall. They want you to come out and play. So these are not judgments on you. These are actually just stating the facts. It's almost like some people want to come and not save you, but they want to come and take care of you. So pile number 1 is a person who gives and takes care of other people, and that's why people want to go to them. But you are the one who other people who like to give are drawn to. They're drawn to come to you, and they want to take care of you, okay? This is attractive. This is a very attractive quality you have. What is blocking you from either fully leveraging this in your life or even blocking you from having this in your awareness? You don't even know this about yourself. It's not realized in your current reality. It's not happening for you. You have the Star reversed, and you have the Queen of Wands, and you have Moonchild. Moonchild is also pointing again to your sensitivity. So even though sensitivity and vulnerability is a very good thing, it's also something that maybe causes you to close yourself off. You're so sensitive that you're easily hurt, easily affected by others. Putting up this strong front mitigates that a little bit, but not really. They still get to you. Now, you have someone, a Queen of Wands, and we have the Star reverse. You had to play second fiddle to someone in your life. This could be a best friend, especially if we're talking about like how are you attractive to friends, or how are you going to be popular at school or at work. How are you going to attract more friends and people and influencers to help you, and even how are you going to attract love. You've had to play second fiddle to someone, either in a relationship, a friendship, maybe even like a mother or a sibling. Some of you guys, not for all of you, but some of you guys feel like you were in the shadow of another sibling that had it all, like that was conventionally attractive and strong and outgoing and not introverted, because if I didn't mention it, you also probably tend to be more introverted or secretly introverted if it's not something obvious about you. But you had to play second fiddle to someone, and that really undermined your confidence, and it made you think that being this way, vulnerable, sensitive, introverted, was bad. Oh my God, it's not bad. Like, you need to find a way to work this, and we're going to talk about this here in a moment. You need to find a way to fully embrace this natural softness about you. That's not the softness of pile one, which is the comfort and the approachability, because you're not actually that approachable. It's almost like you're so soft, like we talked about before. You have a wall and a shell and some sharp edges to you that you use as a defense. A turtle shell is a defense mechanism. Dorothy's biting tongue is a defense mechanism. This talks about fear, which points to vulnerability. You need a defense mechanism, defensive if you're fearful. These things are good about you. I want you to get from this reading, when we're done with this, that we have the womb here for the archetype. What could be softer? Okay, this is going to fit in here with the advice card in a minute. I can see right now, home and family. Okay, sorry. I got distracted. I want you to fully embrace these things as actual features of your attractiveness. Don't be afraid to be that sensitive type. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to let people see you be soft, sensitive, and vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be, quote, weak. Physically, you might not be as strong as other people. There's something about that just makes people want to come and rush to your aid, to help you, to be a part of your crowd. They're attracted to you for this reason. This is what you're given. This is the temperament you've been given. This is the features and personality traits and even physical features that you've been given. You might even, like, no matter how deep or light, pale your complexion is, you might even have a translucentness about you. May be able to see your veins in your arms even. There's just this quality about you that even you're so soft and so sensitive that there's an internal divine light that if you can get right with God and get it together here with these blocks and this advice here in a moment, this internal light wants to shine through to you. And that's what people are drawn to. They're not drawn to your vulnerability or your sensitivity. They're drawn to the fact that you're such a clear channel and you're so sensitive that the divinity of who you are and who everyone is, your true identity, what you really are, is able to more fully shine from you and attract people like a moth to a flame. Attract people to your light. They can see your light, because if you can become more translucent and vulnerable and more sensitive and let that show through, and not use your shell and not have your harsh edges, always, all the time, even though that does intrigue people, makes you mysterious. So that may work for you. Actually, it does. I can see here it does work for you. So it's okay. But this is your potential, like your birthright, is to reflect the divinity from within to other people. And they don't know why they're drawn to you and to your softness or sensitivity, but this is why. They're searching for that divinity and they can see it in you. Now, when it comes to your advice, we've got quiet. Hello, introvert. sensitive soul. We have home. Hello, introvert, turtle in your shell, in your home, sensitive soul. We have family. Hello, being in your comfort zone. So where other people might get advice to step out of their comfort zone, I am telling you to stick with or get into your comfort zone where you are most at home, where you're most comfortable and supported by family or people who are like family, like-minded souls and individuals. You don't need to seek acceptance from people who are not like you. That's okay, because they're just going to be so drawn to your magic and your mystique and the divinity that's able to shine from deep within your soul out into the environment. And quiet. Foster this sensitivity in you. You are like a finely tuned instrument. You have a narrow range to work with. You don't have a wide bandwidth, okay? You are a finely tuned instrument. That means you may be a little bit more high maintenance physically and mentally, spiritually, and emotionally than other people, but that's okay because you are so finely tuned that you're able to pick up on everything. You're able to shine the light that other people can't because they're too thick, too wide, too broad. You've got this narrow space here to work with, and so you need your quiet, you need your solitude. You need to recharge your battery to refill your cup. You don't need a lot of interfering energies coming from other people to F with your energy here. You've got this to work with. And this is enough. This is more than enough because all the light in the world can shine through this and expand and broaden and attract and draw people into you. And womb comes in when we talk about family, home, and quiet. This is a place where this is the source, honestly. This is the source of all life. This is the beginning. This is the manifestations. This is where the magic happens. This is where new life begins. This is when the divine comes into the real world to express itself and to experience life. This is where God happens. This is also home, womb. You're kind of like that divine womb for other people. They're not able to experience divinity and magic and mysticism or God or divinity on their own, at least at this point. These people that are attracted to you kind of need your light and your magic and your mystique and your divinity that's able to be shown through because you're so part of you wants to be transparent. You're so sensitive and vulnerable. All right, let's read from this and see what else resonates. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother before the mother. Consider what Mother Earth must also have a mother and imagine her. Nourishment, harmony, warmth, and love. That's when it's in its light. When it's in its dark or its shadow or kind of twisted, stricken, ecological crisis, infertility, and imbalance. Oh, that's right. We didn't even get to talk about that. But there could be a very easy tendency for you, since you are so finely tuned and since you have been successful cutting people off with your harsh edges, that you may find some imbalance. You can have a tendency to be imbalanced. I think this card is also just reminding you that since you have this divinity and this divine light that can show through to other people, they can see themselves in you in a funny way. They can see themselves, their true source, their true nature in you, that you're like home to people. Once they can get past that edgy exterior, that shell, you're like home to people. Home, womb, origin. You remind them of their origins, which is God, which is source, energy. You are like the dark horse, the quiet mystic. People don't know why, but they just have to be near you and they have to soak up some of that energy. But like we said before, don't be afraid to protect that energy with quiet and solitude, home and family, being where you're most comfortable around the people you're most comfortable with. You are not being called to put yourself out there where you don't want to be. That's not your advice. Your advice is to put yourself where you do want to be. Protect your energy at all costs. Protect your energy and your magic and your divinity at all costs. Keep that balance. Other people have this much to play. They can be here, they can be here, they can be here, they can be here. You can only be here. If you accidentally go over here, imbalance, you need to recharge. If you accidentally go over here, imbalance, you need to recharge. You're working within this narrow space here, and it's like a very pure, magical place to work from. So alluring. You're just able to draw people in What an amazing read. What a magical, mysterious creature you guys are. All right, I'm reminding all the Stackses today that anybody ever tries to give you shit about getting your crystals at Home Goods, you can tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine. And you can tell them I told you so. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Comment down below if you picked this pile. I read every comment. It helps me to connect to you guys better. And remember, these readings are general, so keep what resonates, reject what doesn't, and if you're interested in a specific, tailored, relevant, personal reading for you, check my description box below for information on how to contact me to get availability and rates for readings by me. So you're pile number 2. You picked the Shapeshifter Oracle card deck from the well-known archetype. We're going to talk about shapeshifters in a minute. Just a cursory glance. I'm going to read it from the book also. This deck is new to me, but shapeshifters to me mean that part of your attractability, your desirability, what draws other people to you or might give you an advantage to be attractive to more people than other people. So more people may be able to find you attractive because of this talent, and that's the talent to change and adapt to any given situation. You can read the room real fast and you know what might be acceptable or not acceptable real fast. Okay, we're going to start with the top row, which gives us a window into what you look like physically and also a little bit about your personality and what people find attractive about your personality and the way you physically look. So this is hilarious because in this Oracle card deck that I used, you got the super attractor card for a reading about how attractive you are. So something tells me that you're very good looking. If you're not conventionally good looking, you have that je ne sais quoi about you that people just can't help but be attracted to you, even like physically and also spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. It says, good things come easily. I am a super attractor. Then we got the Panther card, which tells me you are a feisty little tiger, or panther, I guess. And you have a smoothness about you, a coolness about you, the cool factor. And if you're like, Amanda, excuse me, I'm not cool, I'm quirky, or I'm odd, or I'm different, or I'm awkward, it's working for you. It's working for you, okay? Don't doubt it. Don't question it. Now, something tells me you're not exactly quirky, though, because this is because we have the Hierophant as part of what is attractive about you. And this is someone who has an authoritative bearing or leadership, who is choleric, who comes into a situation and kind of can take command, can take center stage. It feels like they have a lot to offer other people as far as guidance and advice. So people might feel like you are wise or knowledgeable or an expert in whatever field. So if you're talking or thinking about being popular at school or at work, people might look at you as an authoritative figure, and that is very attractive. People want to align themselves with people that appear to have authority and power and maybe even just a command of the industry or your world, a command of the knowledge is specific to your community or where you live, where you make your home. So you're feisty, you're smooth, you are pretty fierce, you're very attractive, and this is just naturally showing to me a very confident person. This is a Hierophant, which is Sophia from the Golden Girls, which is so funny. And she was very feisty. And so I am getting that too when I look at the Panther. I'm getting a feistiness about you and a no nonsense about you, and something that gives the impression of calm, cool, and collected, charismatic, and just very attractive. So probably good looking. Even like I said, if you're not conventionally good looking, there's something about you that people can't help but find cute, or even like, this is totally a tangent, but like ugly hot. When someone's not attractive for some reason, you think they're hot. You just can't help yourself. And other people agree with you and find that person hot too. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a thing. Now, some of the things that might be keeping you from actually fully stepping into this and claiming this as your birthright, because some of you may be like, okay, yes, this kind of explains how I feel on the inside, or it does kind of explain why I already think people are attracted to me, or it's new to you, but you can buy it, you can dig it, you see how this makes sense. But some of you may be like, well, wait a minute, this is not fully leveraged in my life right now. I don't see this showing up in any way, shape, or form. I don't think people are attracted to me for the reasons you just listed, Amanda. And that's because you have some blocks, or if you are experiencing some of this, there are some blocks and things keeping you from fully claiming this and using this in your life to your advantage, okay? We have some tarot cards here. We have Justice reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, Ten of Swords, not reversed. I would have loved to have this one reversed, but it's upright. There might be a tendency in you to not play fair. Not play fair. You may also have a touch of indecisiveness about you with this Justice reversed. Maybe you have trouble making decisions, and especially fair decisions, or other people may perceive you as not always being fair. And Ace of Swords reversed means also this indecisiveness can also come into play here with some lack of direction. Even though you have the potential to be this commanding presence in the Hierophant here, who's very knowledgeable and an expert, people are very attracted to that, guys, to knowledge and experience and education. But you you haven't picked a direction where to go, so you're a little bit directionless. This kind of cuts into your desirability a little bit. And if not that, it kind of cuts into you fully stepping into this level of attractiveness, feistiness, fierceness, coolness, calm, cool, and collected, authoritativeness. It keeps you from stepping into that energy, okay? We've got the Ten of Swords. So it tells me that you're in a little bit of a denial about past wounds, things that have actually hurt you, things that hold you back, negative habits or tendencies or addictions. You may even be at rock bottom at times. You're just very much in denial of that. It's a failure to see the reality of what has happened to you in the past and what your reality is right now, and where some of your weaknesses lay, especially here in them being unfair at times, not making good decisions, or being very indecisive and being directionless. Okay, guys? You need to pick a direction and focus there to become the expert and the authoritative, presence there. You need to be fair, because it's not fair to have a very attractive and feisty, spirited person out there making unfair calls and being seen by others to not always play fair. They're going to see you have an unfair advantage here already with your looks or your je ne sais quoi. You need to rise above things like this. You need to be fair and play fair. You need to be seen as very integral, having integrity. We get into, I want to talk about the shapeshifter here too, because when we're talking about lacking integrity or lacking direction, this comes in with your shape-shifting ability, your ability to mold yourself into certain situations or say the right thing at the right time. But this might mean you come across as indecisive or inconsistent, directionless, okay? So this is a hindrance and a help, both. Now, for your advice, you have patience, compassion, and father. Something about your father or a person who played a father-like role or mentorship to you has affected the way you see yourself and the way you present in the world. Daddy issues is coming up. Maybe a woman who's very spirited and mysterious and attractive, but sometimes she doesn't know where she's going. She's directionless. She's got daddy issues, would be the colloquial way of saying that. Some kind of, you need to heal some kind of fathership or father-like relationship, or your just orientation towards fatherhood, period. Compassion and patience means that you're going to have to find it within yourself to have patience and compassion for other people who are, for lack of a better way to say this, are less motivated than you, less fierce than you, less attractive than you, have less initiative. People need to feel like you're not so unapproachable. So you need to be having compassion and patience with other people. This is something you need to foster in yourself to fully round yourself off as honestly, a person who has the highest potential for charisma and being able to use your looks and personality to your advantage. Like, you kind of have the cards, pun intended, are stacked in your favor. And to fully step into this power, you need to develop within yourself a full and lasting and complete compassion for other people who are not so lucky as you, and patience for people who are not so motivated or spirited or knowledgeable as you. You need to be, like, the first pile we talked about was someone who can really, people are drawn to them because they are comfort and they are approachable. You are kind of not approachable because you have so much potential and so much attractiveness. You can even be intimidating to some people. Even though they're magnetized to you and can't help themselves, they're still intimidated by you. Find it within yourself to be a patient person, a kind and compassionate person. And you might be able to find that within yourself by healing some type of bad attitude towards fatherhood, or damage from a father or father-like figure, or a mentor. Daddy issues, healing some daddy issues. Now let's read your shape shifter card. Oh my God, you guys picked the perfect one. It fits in perfectly with all the other cards. Okay, when you guys are in your strength and your light, you are vibrant, adaptive, we talked about here, and humorous. So I think something I may have missed here with Sophia and the Hierophant is you may have quite a good sense of humor. Sophia from the Golden Girls. If you don't know, get on my level. But when you're in your dark and your shadow, you could be a charlatan, lacking integrity, we talked about, people pleasing, indecisive, don't know which direction to go in, and trickery, like things like you are unfair. We talked about with the Justice reversed here. This plays in perfectly. It also says here the ultimate shapeshifter works undercover in service of a greater good. The diminished shapeshifter becomes a people pleaser. There's a shapeshifter within all of us to some degree. It's a side of ourself that is slippery, non-committal, indecisive, experimental, and longs to dismiss the roles we need. Its energy to adapt to an ever-changing landscape of our existence. It's important to imagine you are looking at life through a kaleidoscope rather than a single focus lens. Oh my gosh, it even says integrity here. The shapeshifter requires a central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. What did we talk about here with Justice reverse? You need to find this integrity in Ace of Swords reverse, this integrity within yourself. People need to see you as an integral person. I love it when the cards make sense like this. This was an amazing reading. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And remember, if someone tries to call you out for getting your crystals at Home Goods, you can tell them that I told you to tell them to suck your right. Bye. But are you even attractive, though? Would a regular old suburban mom have a best friend called Buffy? Yes. Thank you, Jesus.